tonight, Vision Casting Podcast. So we know it's been a minute, but
Yes.
we've got a serious topic that we want to talk to you about. We're going to try to get into the mainstream of what current events are,
Right.
to have be a part of the conversation, and do some things a little bit differently in 2025. But let me go ahead and read you our disclaimer. We are not doctors and hold no degrees, so we can offer you no cures or diagnoses of any kind. If you need professional help, we advise you to seek it out. What we offer is conversation and comforting voices. And
Yes.
we like to give you a little bit of laughter, a little bit of, some seriousness every now
Yes.
and then. But we think that the time has come that we switch over and have some in-depth conversations. Now, we
Right.
have always tried to advise, which we will continue to do, but we want to have some conversations about what's currently going on in the world,
Right.
and see if we can offer some of our wisdom, because
Yes.
both of us are women of wisdom. We've got some life
Right.
experiences, and so we want to call this episode today, called to serve female foot soldiers. Okay, and so there are a
Yes.
couple of things that we want to talk about. Want to kind of get your opinion on, kind of gauge, where the conversation should go. We know that there is so much uncertainty, and so many people are losing their minds over so many things, which I don't
Right.
know. I feel the uncertainty as well, so we
Right.
understand that that's a real
Yes.
thing. But to crash out and go crazy, I don't think
Yeah.
that we're
That's
in
not
that
helping.
position.
And
Right.
that's not helping
Right.
anyone.
So
That
I
really
don't think
isn't.
that we're there. So
Hmm.
we're gonna just talk about a couple of things, because we're women,
Hmm.
and we have not seen a time like this. We have not seen some decisions like this, and so one of those things are, um, whether we should. I don't know if you've heard about this conversation, but draft women.
Yes. Right.
And how do we feel about, women being basically foot soldiers and being on the front line?
Right.
Now, me personally, I've never really wanted to be in the military scene, but I am so glad that there are so many men and women that want to serve,
Hmm.
and we want to
Right.
always be grateful for their service. But we're in a time that I feel like, let's just not even talk about the military portion of it, but so many people are dealing what we are talking about, these mental issues.
Right.
And I just wonder, because women go through so many things,
Right.
that now you want to throw on top of that us being on the
And the
front line.
yeah, I mean that's what I never could understand that, because I feel that that is something God created men to do, and be a provider and protector. And so yes, so I totally understand the fact that, it's just that's the men's place. That's just how I feel, and that's how God created. They women are supposed to be protected. We're the
Yeah.
nurturers. We're the.
Yeah. And I'm
So
of the
yeah,
same
yeah.
mindset. Now, I'm not saying that, because women handle a lot of things, right?
Yes, we
And
do.
there is a lot of things that's constantly being put on our plate, and we have to deal with, mothers and going out here and working and all of
Hmm.
the things.
Hmm.
But I think it takes a special kind of mental fitness in order to be able to serve in some of the places that the country has had to go serve in.
Right.
So that's just one of the issues that we think is a serious one, because like I said, so many people are dealing with so many mental issues
Yes.
in so many areas, and now we want to throw on top of that putting women on the front line. Now, I don't know if that's what really goes on in the
Right.
military, but
Right.
it's a part of a conversation that
Hmm.
I've heard, and I know people nowadays always want you to cite, what I'm saying, references and all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily have a reference. I mean, it's just a conversation that I've heard, and there's been so many conversations that go on that sometimes you don't even know what is fake news or real news.
Exactly.
So
Right.
I would say to you, do the research before, like I said, we just crash out and go crazy. you know, really educate yourself
Hmm.
and find out some of these answers. I mean, I know we talk a lot about a lot of different things. I'm not hearing a lot of solutions on things. I
Right.
think people just, just want to have this opportunity to voice their opinions. And I mean, we all have opinions.
Right, exactly. And this is the thing too, is that really women and men are so built differently. How God created us to be different. So women can't do what men can't do what women can do. So I mean, to put us on an equal playing field is not a good space to be.
I'm
So
absolutely in agreement with that, even though
yes,
you got a lot of women that think that they can be on the
I
same
know.
equal footing with men.
Right,
And I
no.
mean, that's your thought process. And I mean, if you
Right.
feel like you can go toe to toe with a dude, then you
Yeah.
do that.
Right.
But we're just saying, as women
Mm,
of wisdom, that we don't really think that that's really a smart choice.
right.
Now, there again, we're saying to you, do what you feel like you need to, boo
Right.
boo.
Right.
But then if you're wanting to step into that man's position, then you got to hold your own in every instance.
Exactly. You can't sit back and say, but I can't do that because I'm a woman. I don't have the strength that a man. You can't. You have to go all in.
Right. And
You
we're
really do.
saying, as women of wisdom, we're not going all in.
Oh,
We
no.
want to be protected. Thank you
Exactly.
for the men that are willing to serve, and even y'all women.
Yes.
But, we know that women are important too, because there
Right.
are roles that, you can do. But we're just really talking about being on the front line. I
Right.
don't think that that's a position that we as women need to take. That's just where we are on that.
Right.
And I think me and Gloria both agree on that. Now, the second point, removing every potential to be sexually assaulted.
Yes.
Now, ladies, you could put on a paper bag
Right.
and be found sexy.
Exactly. Right.
You could be head to toe covered, ain't nothing exposed,
Right.
but somebody will find you sexy.
Exactly.
What we want to know, how do you potentially remove all of that
Hmm.
sexuality from the situation?
Right.
And we're not saying that just because a man finds you attractive, that's your fault. But let's be real about the thing.
Hmm.
Let's not say that, no, it don't have to go that way, and it's not my fault. No, it's not your fault. But living in reality and living in a society where everything is so sexualized,
Yes.
let's not play games as if you being in an opportunity with a man,
Hmm.
and y'all away from maybe y'all significant others, or maybe you don't got no boo boo, but next thing you
Right.
know, y'all having conversations because the warden got hard. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Where you at? There's a
Right.
potential that I'm lonely, or
Yes.
my man
Right.
is having a problem with me serving, so now I'm dealing with
Right.
him. I'm in argument with him. Now I'm
Right.
having a conversation with this dude over here. There's a potential
Yeah,
for all
there
kinds of
is.
things to jump off, and
Right.
maybe it. And we know that as women, there have been situations where um, no does mean no, but you put
Exactly.
yourself in a
Yes.
position that something can jump off.
Something can happen. Yes. Exactly.
And so, can you totally remove that kind of sexual situation?
Right.
I don't know. And maybe I'm old school because of
I
my
know. I
age.
don't exactly. I don't know that that can really
Right.
happen. I really seriously do not think so because just the way we are made, how God made us.
Yes.
I mean, we
Yes.
just know that men are just like you said. You can wear a paper bag, a potato sack, and you're still gonna.
You're
There's
going
gonna
to
be
turn
something.
somebody
You
on.
turn somebody on.
Because you could just say
So
hi nowadays.
exactly, yeah, and then
And
it's
there's
like,
a.
oh, wait a minute,
Right.
yeah,
Oh, she likes me. No, wait
yes,
a minute.
yeah, right,
So we gotta, as women, we have to be careful in all situations.
yes,
We're just simply, not with just military, but just walking down the street,
mm,
just what I'm saying, catching the guy's eye and you smiling at him. Next thing you know, you might have a stalker. I'm not
right.
saying all men are that way, but I'm just saying
We just have to be
we
careful.
have to just be
Hmm.
careful. We have to basically live with our head on the swivel
Right.
because of where we are in the world and all
Hmm.
the craziness that goes on and all the uncertainty. So we're just asking some questions. We want you to just have a kind of like a thought process and just think through these things.
Right.
And we live in a time where, like we were talking about, women think that they can go toe to toe with a man, and it's no big deal. But yes, it is a big deal. There are
Right.
certain things that are an extreme big deal. And I know as a woman, all of us have been put in a situation that you didn't ask to be catcalled to, or you didn't ask to be hit on, but that was the reality of the situation, and
Right.
how you dealt with it was how you dealt with it. Whether it escalated into something you didn't want to, or you found yourself exposed in situations. But every woman, probably, if you're old enough to remember, has been put in a situation that you didn't necessarily ask to be,
Right.
hit on or made to feel a certain way, but or sexually harassed, but you've been put
Right.
in that position.
Exactly.
So we're
Right.
just asking you to think about those things.
Mm-hmm.
When you, if you say to yourself, well, no, we as women can have the same rights and we can do the same things as a man can do. I'm here to tell you again, I need the country protected by men.
Yes.
I'm just saying
Exactly.
personally,
Yes. I'm all in with you on that
I
because
don't need to
seriously.
be
Mm-mm.
seeing, all these women that think that they can just, militarily go toe to toe with guys. And
No.
then, okay, you might be able to go military toe to toe with American men, but what about in other countries where they
Exactly.
don't,
Where
where
they
they
don't
don't,
value women.
right?
What's the first thing they're gonna do?
Girl,
Yeah.
okay, we already
So
know.
and no, exactly.
Okay, and then point number 3, physically fit, where there does not have to be accommodations made for you in
Right.
order to reach a standard. Now, I don't know seriously how all of this works. Not I've never been in the military.
Right.
I remember back in the day, one time going to like a recruiting office with my
Right.
cousin. Now at the time I had Tequila, who was, she was a little bitty at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He trying to get me in going into the buddy system. I said, no, no, no.
Right.
No, no, no. I am just here for moral support.
Right.
Pam ain't had no desire to go into the military. I am very blessed that people, that is the job that they want to
Yes,
do.
that's their calling.
That
Right.
that right, that's their calling. But also I think too, you can't drop the standards in order to have women in the military.
Right. Exactly.
Now, if that's not happening, okay, well then put that in the comments and let me know,
Right.
educate a girl, that that's not happening.
Exactly.
But if we're gonna have to do a little something different because you're basically not physically fit and we're just trying to meet a quota,
Yeah.
I don't need you with a gun. I'm just gonna be honest.
Right, exactly. I mean, you could, maybe it's a gun that you can't even like lift, or maybe you can, but you're just not a good shot. I mean, I don't know. There's so many things that enter my
Right.
head because I'm thinking, men are just naturally just good with that sort of thing.
They're
They're
naturally
men,
built to do
and
that,
then
right?
and they're actually
Right.
built to do that. So to protect and provide.
Right.
I mean, they're hunters.
Absolutely. And their muscle
know,
mass is different.
And their muscle mass
They're
is
built
different.
differently.
Exactly. Yes. Their thought process is different.
Absolutely.
It's logical. They think
Yes.
things through, where we're
Right.
emotional beings.
Right. And then you out there
So-
crying on the field. I'm sorry, girls, but that's not a good look.
Yeah, exactly. When we're supposed to be fierce.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that
And
that's
like
all
military,
women, but
yes.
but we don't really want to see our military women just breaking down crying.
Exactly.
So, I mean, because we all as women can have hard days.
Right.
And I just have hard days just in the fact that I'm getting older.
Yeah.
The body's changing.
Right.
The body hurts.
Totally get you.
I mean, just literally just
Right.
feeling like I'm breaking down
Exactly.
at this stage of life. So we're just putting this out here. We're just asking
Right.
the questions. We want to be a part of the conversation. We want to know what you feel about this, because maybe we're just seeing it wrong.
Well, and it reminds me of the movie G.I. Jane with Demi Moore.
I didn't see G.I.
they
Jane.
did,
Okay.
and so I remember that in the movie they did not make any accommodations for her. She was actually had to do what the Navy SEALs actually do. So she, as an actress, of course, she went through all the things.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
so she just wanted to play the part as, just as,
Right.
just have it just be reality. But what I'm saying is that if you can't do that,
Mhm.
then there's really no need for you to be up there with men. And again, I still say this:
Absolutely.
is that women don't need to be in the front lines.
That's
don't.
all we're saying. That's the part where we agree.
Right. We're emotional beings. We have our monthly cycles. We go through.
She just
all
went
the
there.
things.
I wasn't going. She just really
the
putting it down.
We go through all the things. I mean, of course, I haven't, But
well,
anyways, we're older.
Some of us are not there with y'all.
Yeah, but
if you're young enough to be in the military, those are things that you have to deal with.
Exactly.
And so we understand that those times you get emotional.
Yes.
There are certain things that, those creature comforts that you might need and stuff like that. And we're not, again, saying that this is, all women, but it's just a conversation. And it was just very disturbing to me, to the fact of, I thought we needed to have a conversation, because you understand that if you've heard us long enough, both me and Gloria, believe in God, and we have that relationship. And when we talk about, men are supposed to be on the front line, because that's the way that we feel like God has created us.
Exactly. Right.
And so you may take a different approach than that, and that's fine. But it's just a conversation worth having.
Exactly. Right.
Okay, and then the final point that we want to talk about, the unspoken rule about what we were saying, how men think about women. Their job is to protect and provide. And so if they're on the front lines fighting with you, and you get into a situation, well, now you're diverting their attention to actually do what they need to do in order to protect everybody, not just you, but the whole of the team.
Yeah.
So, just having these thoughts that, we as women, we can do all of what men can do. I mean, I'm not saying in certain instances that we can't, but we're just really focusing here about being on the front line. And the fact of, since that y'all want to be equal, does that mean that women then need to be drafted?
Exactly. That's a good question.
That was one of the conversations that I've been hearing, which is very disturbing to me.
Oh, I know, right?
Because the draft in itself, because that was one thing that we had gotten away from. Am I correct on that?
Yes,
I mean, that's not
true.
something that we were generally doing, but I think we're in a better situation now where we're trying to get the military numbers up. So, praise God for that. Right. So, we're not going to belabor this point, but it's just a conversation. We just wanted to have a seat at the table. You know what I'm saying? Just have a little conversation, with our women, and maybe how you felt about that. So, like I said, this is really the question that we're asking, and we want you to be a part of the conversation about women being drafted. So put your thoughts and your feelings in the comments, and let's just have a conversation about it, because maybe we're looking at it differently, ladies.
Maybe.
I mean, because we're in a different position in life. Because I know, because this knee right here is just hurting me right now. I'm just like, I don't know that the body.
I think we're past the drafting age.
Well, are you sure?
I think we are.
Well, the way things are going, who really knows? Exactly. And that's to me a dangerous kind of situation, because you feel like, no, we would just be way too old for the draft. But what if the government decides that, so hey,
we're in that,
well, right.
So
I just take all women off the table. That way we don't have to worry about it.
I agree.
And we just gonna keep this moving. So, okay, guys, that was just we just wanted to be a part of the conversation, and then we didn't want to hold you long. But, like we're saying, put your thoughts and your feelings in the comments about women being drafted. Yes. And remember, if this is information that you can use, you find valuable, remember to subscribe, like, and share. And guys, we will talk to you next time.
Yes. And you have a great day.
Yes.
Or night.
Wherever you are listening to, whatever time zone.
Yeah.
But we hope that this will be a conversation that is beneficial to you.
Yes.
Maybe spur some conversations with the women in your life. And just, let's just do the thing. Let's just have, we're going to have some more serious conversations this year. We're going to try to, do a little something different, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Yes.
I know y'all like to hear us more laughing and having a good time.
Right.
But we had some serious times.
Yes, we're in some serious times.
So we need to have some serious conversations.
Exactly.
All right, ladies. We're going to bid you adieu.
All right. So we'll see you. Bye.